Marriage is the basis of any community, and it's passed down through that. I'm from a community that doesn't get married, and I can tell you, it's terrible. You can never have a successful community without marriage. The acceptance of other groups into Africa has not benefited Africans in the way that it should have themselves. What has interracial marriage and relationships done for Africa? Zero. What's good, everybody? It's your boy O'Shea Dick Jackson here on the Repat Podcast, and I'm here with a bunch of talented guests. I'll let them introduce themselves. Go ahead. You got the energy already, brother. You got the energy already, brother. Go ahead.
Starting from least talented.
All right, so Raymond, go.
Hey.
Cheque, my name is Cheque.
Raymond once again, okay? Raymond.
Laleti, your girl Laleti.
Tati, give me a round of applause. We're going to use some sound effects here on the podcast today. So it's funny because I'm on the way here, and I met this beautiful young lady here. I believe it was last September.
Yeah.
She was on the Pan-African Dating Show, and I wasn't even back on the podcast. I quit last year. We were having an interesting conversation about interracial dating.
Yeah.
So it just so happened as I was coming on my Instagram feed, I saw that you had a podcast.
Yeah.
You actually were trying to convince me to bring a podcast back here because you saw some of our clips and things like that. But today's topic is, basically because I know me as an African-American, I have a different view on race. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to know about the issue. Can you be a Pan-African or very strong for your Kenyan community and still interracial or date interracially?
As a woman, I would base it on how you deal with these men from different races.
Okay.
And so far, I feel like I haven't had and it's funny because people, when they see me with this body physique, they assume, you should be with a white man. Yeah, they always assume tall girls, skinny girls, they should be with a white man and stuff. I'm not really a firm believer of that because I don't think I've had white men. I haven't had positive encounters with them. We are known, Kenyan men are known for being not so romantic guys. That is loud and clear. It's known. Yeah, but at least I can say the one. No. I'm saying based on
they're not romantic. They're
let's go viral.
Kenyans on Twitter.
Let's go viral.
I sent you a link to my podcast where I say, is simping really a sign of weakness? I think Kenyan men are so based on, if I tell my girl I love you, it's simping. It's gangster points are dropped.
Right.
You can't be a loving man to your partner if you show love, you are not strong. You are showing weakness and stuff. So that's the kind of struggle we are struggling. I think for now we are just, for me, I can say I'm just settling for what's there.
Absolutely.
But I wish. No.
Settling.
No offense.
We're going viral.
Now that I've known you, I'm going to introduce you to new friends. Because these friends you're keeping...
It's true though, but okay, I can't speak for all Kenyan men.
You just did.
But no.
You literally did.
I'm sorry.
You said Kenyan. You literally just spoke for every man, every Kenyan man.
No, but you being a Kenyan
Wait,
man,
they're not romantic.
you can bear me witness and say it's true.
No.
Like you've said you're a single man, and I know it's not because no one. You said you're single.
If they're not romantic, what are they?
No. Do you
Earlier
know
on,
every time, ask any Kenyan lady who's educated, if they come to a guy and he's good looking, tall and stuff, and you're like,
basically,
are you
Cheque.
seeing someone?
Yes,
and they're
sir.
like, I'm single. That's a red flag. First of all, why
Being
are you
single is a
single?
red flag?
No. Why are you single? Give us a good reason why you're single.
Why
because
are you single, bro?
It's these men who say they're single in Kenya, they have different women in different area codes.
Ooh, that is...
You can
that
see
is
his
so
face.
wild. That
You
is
can
so-
see his face.
That is so outrageous because...
No,
When-
I'm speaking my truth, and that's it.
The
And
truth is weird, though.
You guys are politicians. That is outrageous. That is outrageous.
That is outrageous because just because someone is single doesn't mean they're sleeping around. There's many. Even the glass can't keep up with your life.
Don't cut it out. Somebody give me the other one. I'll buy a new glass.
Even the glass.
Can I buy you a new glass? I'll buy you a new glass.
The glass, huh?
Somebody give me another glass.
Is, what I'm trying to say in regards to Kenyan men, as absurd as it is,
Again,
I
you
think
said Kenyan men.
Most.
Let her talk, bro.
I don't want to be misquoted. Most Kenyan men, and I know people are gonna come for my neck for this.
They're gonna come.
I think,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's okay, but this is
gonna
my
cook you.
thinking. This is my thinking.
This is
I feel
literally knowing they're coming.
if a Kenyan man is good, he is good at the end of the day. But if he's bad, he is bad.
Okay,
Like,
but let me
bad.
ask this question before.
Yes.
So what you're saying is, when a lot of ladies from here, when they date somebody that's white or foreigner, let's say a white person, you're saying that these guys on average are more romantic.
Yeah,
they're more willing
like
to treat you differently. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but I came to realize like it's a foreign thing, because you find out if a Kenyan man meets like a foreign girl, like a foreign lady, you know, they treat them differently, like with, you know, high ranks and special treatment and stuff.
Can you give me an example? Can you give me an example of this?
Yeah, like they will buy you, you know, they will candlelights, roses, dinners. I bet for a Kenyan man to do that, I really don't know, honestly.
Okay. So let me ask, wait. Before we get, I know you want to get it, but let me ask you a question.
Dinner for two, order special reservations and stuff like that. I mean, it happens, but not for these girls who are middle class. Let's be honest, it's happening for these girls who are, you know, like, you know, rich fellas.
So let me ask you this, because you know, you are petite model shape, right? So you believe, or people believe, because you know, Kenyan, Ugandan women, Rwandese, it's no secret, you know, they're working with something, right? And so you believe that a Kenyan man, in comparison to what's available out there, would not want to pick you based on, that's a stereotype.
Yeah.
So a white man who typically likes a lady that's more slim, no behind.
Absolutely. I feel like that. And it has actually affected us, because some of us who are really not, you know, based on, I just want a white man, you know. We are struggling because when a Kenyan man meets a girl with my body physique, they assume, like, you know, I can't lack like one or two white men in my DMs, which is not true. I really don't have these white men in my DMs.
Okay.
Even on social media page, they are not there. And I actually...
But how did you meet them then?
Like, you know, when you're walking past the street, hi. Like, there were natural occurrences. Like, you just meet someone by chance, you know?
By chance, okay.
Yeah. But for me, my experiences also with white men, I would say they are nice in the beginning. And then along the way, you're just like, I would rather, you know, better the devil you know than the angel you don't know. Yeah, I would say that. So I would say like, I would rather deal with the Kenyan man based on, you know, flaws instead of a white man, because sometimes I feel like white men go for black ladies who are like with my body physique for the wrong reasons. It's like we are experiments.
What are the wrong reasons?
Like you want to experiment weird stuff, like especially when it comes to the sexual preferences, they have weird interests. I'm so sure a white man would never ask for some things that they ask for black girls in Kenya, like in terms of, you know, sexual preferences. Yes. Okay. Which I find it disrespectful.
Yes.
Because it's not okay for you to...
But it happens.
Yeah, it happens, and it's very disrespectful.
Has it happened to you?
Yes. I think like I would rather deal with the devil that I know, okay, despite him being inconsistent and not romantic, at least at the end of the day, I'll go home in one piece than... Instead of dealing with someone who's pretending to be something they're not, and at the end of the day, maybe my mom will be the last time they saw me was the day I left my place. You know,
because you feel like a white guy.
And I am yet to be convinced. Okay. Like there are actually good white men in Kenya who actually prefer women for women and not experiments, because I feel like white men in Kenya are looking for girls to experiment things they would really love to experiment that they can't experiment in their own countries.
You know what I've seen? Yes. Like a lot of girls will complain on Tinder, like white men will message them and they'll say things like, I've never been with a black girl before, so this is what I want to do. But let me ask you, Cheque, because the
first thing they do, they even actually ask for nudes and stuff like that. I'm so sure if you texted like, you know, if the white man was to text like a white girl, it will be a totally different conversation. Okay. I'm just assuming. Yeah.
Let me do this. Let me check some before us. Let me get to topic. Before you get her, I know you want to get her. And you got smoke. I see you. I see the eyes is red.
Ready, yeah. The grill is ready.
Yeah, I know. But I'm going to ask you this though. Do you honestly believe that you can be a Pan-African? I don't know if you guys consider yourselves that, but a person that's really for the Kenyan community. And I know even Jomo Kenyatta, at least one of his wives was white. I believe that's his history. Because I see it more here in Kenya. Jomo Kenyatta, yeah. I see a lot of whites more here than Uganda. But can you be with a white person and still be a Pan-African?
If she's beautiful.
Yeah. What's your opinion on it?
Of course.
You can. Yeah. Why is that?
It's very hard for me to really generalize a lot of people. Just based on my interactions, personal interactions, the kind of friendships I've had, the kind of people I still have as friends, it would be very hard for me to generalize and say white women, Kenyan men. It's very hard for me because I've had very many different experiences. So I would absolutely do it, because I think if I'm looking for love, or to be with somebody, I'm not
Their
skin color is not really something I'm thinking about top of my mind. I'm really looking at someone that we can really do life or partnership or whatever I'm looking for. If I'm looking to just bust a nut, I mean,
but for you,
it's gonna come
easier.
to that. So,
for you, it's easier because you're a man. For a woman, we are struggling a bit. Yeah.
No, but okay. I've been with a white girl. I've been with. Let me say, I've been with women from different races. Not many. All the 3 women I've had sex with my whole life.
Oh my God,
Jesus. And I've been. It's all the 3.
Bless your heart.
That's three.
Bro.
There are only 3 guys.
Only 3.
Yeah.
So all the 3, right?
Yeah.
3.
And yeah, and for most of it, the differences will just be in culture, beliefs, and just how they were brought up. But in terms of
culture, the first one was culture, beliefs. Only
So I'm curious, Chucks, if you meet a girl, you're gonna investigate their culture, or you're thinking about her nyash and her beautiful face. Let's be honest, it's the man thing.
You do not investigate.
It's a man
you speak to people and you know them. Like now, I'm not investigating you, but based on the opinions you're giving me, I'm like, I think you've had a rough path dealing with men, and I wonder why.
Probably.
Because those statements are too general, and most of them are assumptions, in my opinion. I'm not discrediting experiences.
I'm not trying to project like Kenyan men are terrible or anything like that. I mean, I'm still in Kenya and I'm still surviving.
If you said it differently and probably even gave a bit of context and said, based on this experience of mine, XYZ, then I think it would be easier for people to understand as opposed to you, because you said it a bunch of times. Kenyan men, I'm like, damn. I have friends who buy roses for their ladies, or the candle and stuff.
Maybe
but they're Kenyan.
2% of.
It can't be 2%. Where did you get this statistic from?
Okay.
Then who's buying all the roses?
That's all these roses here. It's the white man buying
a great
That's a
point.
big business here,
Yeah,
bro.
it's the
That's a
white
great
man.
point.
Okay, my thinking is this. I just feel like I
a great point.
wish there was another female who's Kenyan and maybe they would give their opinion.
Can I
think
call?
we will be cahoots.
Can I call
like
my
we'll
friends?
Be in
I can call
like
10
we'll be in
friends
cahoots because
randomly.
No. Let's bring one on the
In
podcast.
short-
Okay, but we can't discredit her experience.
yes,
But she didn't say
exactly.
that. That's what I'm
But she
saying.
did.
If she said that. Because she's just said Kenyan men.
But you see,
I'm
the
like,
thing is, he decides to focus on the Kenyan men. He's not focusing on the fact that of what I've said, and he can't back me up.
But you
Even
didn't-
when he knows to
I'd
some
love to
extent
back
I
you
might
up,
be right.
But when you
Yes.
asked for an example, you didn't give even one specific one.
I did.
Like,
you
I'm
want
not,
me to go into
But she did say
details?
it's her experience, though.
You want me to
So
get
let me-
into
She did say it was
details?
her experience.
Wait. Let me just do this. You asked me, like in my community, if I'm a black man that is successful and know what my community has been through, and then marry a white woman, it is very disrespectful. And at first, I used to be like, I don't give a about what they think. But then I thought about it. I'm like, wait a minute. This is the community I come from, right? Why do they feel like this? It's looked at as disrespectful, and now I'm under the complete idea that it is. Being for what my people did for me to get to where I'm at. The only reason why I'm able to come to Kenya now is because of what my people did for me, right? So I feel like I owe them something. Doesn't mean everybody does. But in Kenya, what does the society feel if you decide that you want to marry outside your race? Because in my community, it's going to look bad.
As a man or as a woman?
Both.
Okay, for me, I feel like being a black girl in Kenyan community, like if I found like a white man,
Yes.
first of all, my parents are going to be like, is he rich? I can't marry a poor white man. Based on my parents.
repatriation.
No. I'm saying based on my parents and my
They're
community.
thinking about this economically.
Yeah, it's true though. And he knows it. Based on my community, if I marry like a white man, they assume I got married for money reasons. It's not genuine love. It's never been considered like I met a white dude and I fell in love and La La Land happened and we got married and that's what happens. It's always assumed it's business, But for me, I want to look at it in a genuine or different or unique way. If I meet a white man and I want to get married to a white man, I want it to be because I genuinely like the person and not because for other materialistic reasons. I don't want to do that. And I'm yet to be
Can I ask
convinced.
you one question?
Yes.
Because you said that, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of black American guys that are going to Instagram you.
Yeah.
Would your parents also feel the same way about somebody like myself?
As long as you're from United States of America, our parents will always think, oh my God, you have one.
So it doesn't matter that he's black also?
No. As long as you have that accent of yours,
you
it's
mean-
ours.
So is it
It's
different for
ours.
another country like the UK, India?
Yes. First of all, our parents, like I feel like in Kenya, girls are more like we face a lot of restrictions. We face a lot of controllings from our parents based on men. So if you're gonna get married, they're gonna intervene. Even your dating life, they're gonna intervene at the end of the day. Unless you just become this, savage daughter, unruly and decide to do whatever you want to do, you have to answer to your parents. Like, you have to tell them. And sometimes, most of the time, you find like these marriages, they are based on our parents. Yeah, like your mom will tell you, okay, leave this and go for this because this is what's going to happen. They look at the future. They see marriage as a business. Here in Kenya, I think marriage is based on ko ni kina nani. Where are they from? Do they have a legacy? Do they have a big name? Like, if I was to get married to, Uhuru's family, I would be, ranked like, you're rich. If I was found walking homeless, they would be like, why are you homeless? Or if I'm dating a white man and then I ask my friend for money, they're like, I thought you're dating a white man. Why are you asking me for money? Like, yeah, that's the assumption that comes in. So you find most of these Kenyan ladies who are dating white men, they decide to keep it low profile because they don't want to be stereotyped or be based on expectations of people. Like, if I'm dating a white man, I have to automatically have everything covered out. Or even if it's Black American, like if I'm dating a foreigner, they are just assume.
He's rich.
Even if it's Ugandan, I feel that way. It's gonna be assumed.
He actually is rich though.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. So I'm
He's
assuming
got money
like that.
balling.
Yeah.
What?
What
They were
about
saying
you? Yeah.
What about me?
They were saying
But
that you're rich.
so how does your family, how would your family take it?
I feel like I probably live in a bubble because I don't think that would be a big deal. Even like a couple of my friends who have interracial marriages, it's not a big deal. Like, it's normal. As soon as I speak to you and from the States, I don't think money.
Who are your friends married
But
to?
I'm not saying it's...
Are they married to whites?
But
What?
personally, do you consider like you have to pick, if you're gonna pick like a spouse, they have to be from certain background? Do they have to be specifically this way or that way, or educated or not educated? Do you consider those things, or you just go for whatever?
Man, my belief is this is such a big universe, or even just use the world. Like, it's so big and there's so much we can see. I would never, ever, ever restrict my friendships or relationship based on where someone comes from or what. Nah, I think for me, it really goes down to who you are as a person. And if it works for both of us, whatever we're trying to do,
okay,
then, man, me, it doesn't matter where you come from. Whether you're from the Philippines or whatever, it doesn't matter, bro. Like,
that's cool.
People are people, bro.
You're
like
unique,
when you look beyond our races, beyond where we come from, you realize how dope people are, bro. And doesn't mean there's no people. People exist everywhere. Everywhere. There's nowhere in the world where you're not going to find people. When you overlook all these things, these barriers, these other things, you just really realize there's some really, really nice, dope people, bro. So I would never really limit myself based on...
Can I ask you a
someone
question?
comes from Uganda, yeah?
What are the top countries in the world?
In terms of what? Beauty?
Let's say economies.
Top countries in the world? Probably some Scandinavian countries would definitely be...
So Norway?
Yeah, Norway would be up there.
Yeah, Norway is small, but would you say like Emirates in the Middle East is going to be probably up there?
Yeah,
Qatar?
economically, of course.
Qatar?
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
Germany?
Germany would be. Quality
Japan?
of life,
That's
Germany
true.
would be. Yeah.
Japan?
Japan, I'm not sure about Japan. I don't know much about Japan,
It
except
is.
I really love the fashion on the streets in Japan.
It is.
It is? Okay.
So Japan.
Where are you getting at here?
I'm just asking you, these countries, these are the top ones in the world, right? Do you feel like they have the same mentality that you do?
I would be surprised if they did because, again, different cultures,
Why would you be
different
surprised?
ways of living. Huh?
Why would you be surprised?
I'd be surprised because they have different ways of living, different cultures. So I don't think we really look at life from the same lens.
But what culture?
Because also we have such different struggles to begin with. That's why it's very easy for like a lot of those people, you'd find like a lot of guys who have actual hobbies that would become careers because probably you're not thinking about where is my next rent coming from. If I fall sick today, am I, do I have access to quality healthcare? Do I have access to quality education? In Africa, those are a big deal, bro. Like in Kenya, like now, God forbid, right? If I was to maybe fall sick and have a chronic illness, bro, I'm literally one chronic illness away from being the poorest man on the continent. It's true, though.
Yeah.
But why
That's
is
the
that?
reality of what we face.
But why is that?
Governance, bro. A lot of it is governance. Because how do you describe a country like Congo, which
In
is
Kenya,
probably...
it's like you snooze, you lose.
Yeah.
You
Because how do you
snooze,
describe a
lose.
country
Yeah.
like, say Congo, right? Probably the richest country ever in the world in terms of natural resources. But look at the quality of life in Congo. So there's exploitation, there's colonialism. I don't think there's one way to describe it. It's many things, but most of it just goes back to leadership as well.
Do you know that Kenya was on the same path as Singapore at one point?
Oh,
Japan?
yeah, we were ahead of Singapore at one point.
What happened?
Leadership.
Do you think leadership is the only thing that happened?
Leadership and colonialism, bro.
Singapore's under colonialism also. So is India.
Yeah,
so is Dubai. UAE was under British colonialism.
India isn't doing so well, though.
When they come to Kenya, they're doing very well.
I mean, in terms of
why do the Indians do very well in Kenya? Why do the Indians do very well in Kenya, in Parklands?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh,
Why is their mentality different than yours?
Wait, I don't.
We're bringing it back to the. I'm trying to.
Community,
He's walking down the hole here.
support,
Come on.
Community.
Community.
They've built a community
support.
around them and they support each other.
Explain why that community exists. Because of what mindset? Obviously, you see it work. So what's their mindset?
They keep it within the community.
Oh, but can you explain what are the rules of
engagement? But I
engagement?
promise you, they don't keep that within the community.
So, but how many people are there?
reason.
Okay, but continue though. Continue.
He's speaking for himself.
No, I'm not Indian.
No. Let him continue.
Yeah.
Why do they have this success? The people who feel different from you, and they run things here in Kenya, where you're located, and they're a smaller group than the larger population. What is their thoughts that prove successful versus what you're telling me that you think?
But also, I'd say from the outside, it looks that successful if you say you put the community as a whole. But then on the inside as well, it's not the whole community. And I'd say the same for Kenyans. I also know a lot of successful Kenyans, but then it would be independent people or families.
Yeah.
But then for Indians, it looks like that from the outside, but it's not the reality, bro. When you go into Parklands, there's a lot of Indians, bro, who are doing even way worse than Kenyans. And they are still within the community.
Well, we're not talking about that. We're talking about on average. On average, there's probably Emiratis.
But
there's a smaller sample space.
But think about this, bro. Like
There's a
if
smaller sample
for
space of
instance,
Indians.
we are all black people here, right?
Yes.
If we found ourselves in the States and we have to begin from scratch, we'd have to work twice as hard, bro. One, we don't come from privilege. Anything could happen. You could be sent back home. For instance, I didn't grow up in Nairobi. I grew up in the village. I literally came to Nairobi the other day. I have to work so hard because I know where I come from. I don't want to go back there.
Yeah.
So if I found like-minded people who are also on the drive and they want to be successful, people don't become successful out of nothing, bro. It's like saying, why do bad people become successful? Because they work hard for it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they're not good people. They're bad people, yes, but they work hard. So they're successful. So I'd say for them, there's a sense of community because one, you're in a foreign land, you have to do the most, support each other, grow each other. Then over generations, what happens is that you end up looking like a successful. Same as Somalis, even in Nairobi.
I'm glad you mentioned them.
Yeah.
They do no interracial dating. Really, for the most part.
So you think dating...
Marriage is like, so you're saying you're willing to marry a white person. So the Somalis are becoming successful here. They're successful everywhere they go.
They've been successful.
And you think...
But why is that? But their mindset is different from yours. So why are they successful with their mindset that is different from what you're talking about?
I don't think it can only be narrowed down.
Hold
to
on,
one
wait,
thing.
let them talk.
I don't know, that's why I'm asking you. It can't be marriage, bro.
It can be
I
marriage?
gave my reasons why I think they're successful.
Okay,
you
but what
don't-
I'm
you
saying is
don't
as a
realize,
whole,
like,
you're saying that
Mm.
I just choose people who are dope. Nobody can disagree with that.
Yeah.
That's true. But the question is, do other people choose you because you're dope? The answer is no.
No.
Look at all of the top educational institutions in the world, in the systems.
Yeah.
Number one, you have Germany. You have Japan. Even UAE. None of those people give a about you if you show up there. They don't want you touching their daughters at all. But you're open to it. The Emiratis, you can't touch their women. It's a crime, right? Even if it's consensual. So that is the reason why Africans go to Dubai and Saudi Arabia and Oman and Arabs don't come here as maids. Where is the Indian maid in Kenya? Can you tell me? Do you know what?
I'm sure I could find one.
Where? Call one right now.
In Parklands.
I call it now.
In
Call one now. Can
Parklands.
anybody call one?
But
I'll
then-
give you $1,000 right now if you can call an Indian maid that
So my
exists.
question is then what...
No. But the question is, you can't find it because it doesn't exist. The reason why it doesn't exist,
There has to be.
you cannot find one.
There
There's
has
no
to be,
Indian
man.
cleaning houses for Africans anywhere. It can't be. There's no Arab cleaning house for Africans
Bro,
anywhere.
I'm going to hire an Indian.
But
even
in
if they're
Kenya,
not-
but hold on, wait a
But
minute.
it's true, though.
But in Kenya, there are many of you going to
So how do
work
But even if
in
they're
Dubai,
not, even if they're
Qatar.
not, we're in a way worse economy with way different standards.
Yeah,
in this
But
place.
the way,
It can be
what I'm trying to
interchangeable.
explain,
It can be
no. I'm
interchangeable.
trying to
Yeah.
explain something. Because of your thinking, that's why the economy is what it is. That's
My
why the
thinking?
economy is. I think
Bro,
so.
wait.
Yes.
There's a problem with this. There's a problem with
What
this
about the
train of
economy
thought.
in India
There's a,
itself?
no, yeah.
What I'm
Wait,
saying-
What about
there's a
Somali
problem.
that
There's a
What I'm
problem.
telling you is this. The way that the blacks think in the world, because there are people that feel like him. I'm not saying it's wrong, but the people who feel like they're going to be inclusive against others do better than everybody else.
Okay, wait.
Japan, let me tell you this. Japan was decimated after World War II. Completely destroyed. Russia was completely destroyed after the Cold War. Completely destroyed. The Soviet Union broke up. Who are we talking about now? Russia. Russia's a threat. China was in poverty in the 70s. They're a threat because nobody who's successful thinks like this.
There's a problem with that train of thought.
As a group,
No, wait.
as
there's
a
problem-
group,
No,
as a
wait,
group.
Wait,
Nobody who's successful thinks like that as a group.
Wait. There's a problem with this train of thought.
Is it?
Yes.
What is it?
If a country is successful, okay, and we're trying to explore why they are successful, how the hell do we end up only picking marriage and keeping it in the community?
know, bro.
Come on, first wait. We've read these books, Think and Grow Rich. We've seen all these TED Talks. When people are talking about success, they're talking about things like
policies.
They're talking about very many things.
Yeah.
Many things
Marriage
like what?
is one of the keeping in a community is one of the last things. And I know
You cannot have a community without marriage,
Wait,
bro.
wait,
Marriages happen as a community. What community is there without marriages?
Wait. It seems very.
Where?
It seems straightforward to say that okay, because they are keeping in the community, that means they're only married. Bro, they're keeping their ideology in the community, the hard work thing, bro, marriage is the last thing, the last reason.
Listen to what you're saying.
And I want to add
Yeah.
to his question. So then, if you go with that logic, that's why he's saying like marriage. Then how do you explain the state of affairs in Somalia? Look at how f***ed up Somalia is. How do you explain India, bro?
No. What I'm
then
saying
why
is,
are they not successful in their countries?
What I'm saying is, I talk
Because
about
they're
I talk about the top
overpopulated.
countries. Now, what I'm saying is,
But we're talking about marriage.
I talk
you
about
know
the
India-
the top countries. Now,
no.
it's true, instability is everywhere, even in these countries talked about in parklands, things like that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen because humans will have instability. The U.S. has instability. Everybody has instability. But what I'm saying is, as Blacks and Africans, there is no group outside that can show me that feels like you two that is successful on the global stage.
Hey, me,
and dominates.
I'm just
So
poking holes at
firstly,
this.
let's talk about marriage. Never talk about marriage. I mentioned that because can you have a community of hard working ethics that's passed through single moms or something like that? It doesn't happen. You need a community which is united through what? Traditionally, marriage. Marriage is the basis of any community, and it's passed down through that. I'm from a community that doesn't get married, and I can tell you, it's terrible. You can never have a successful community without marriage. Everybody that's Indian here is married, for the most part, or will be married. They will have a married arranged. Somalians who are in Kenya are married all the time.
Yeah.
You can see them at our cafe. You can see them at any coffee bar. They're married. Anybody here Chinese? You think Chinese come here as single?
Is that fun?
What I'm
bro?
telling you is this.
No, but I don't even
It's
think it's
about
fun.
fun.
No,
It's
they're
about
not
business.
looking
Listen to
for
this.
fun.
What
They're looking
Chinese
for
people?
they're business
You
minded.
have Kenyan police officers dressed up as influenced by the Chinese.
That
They
is
have
different,
Chinese
but what
everything.
does marriage have to do with that, bro?
Bro,
Everything
this
to do with
marriage,
that.
Oh my
marriage and
God.
success-
You build
everything
marriage
through
and
marriage.
success
It has
are-
everything,
The way you're using marriage,
everything,
the way you're
yeah.
using marriage, the way you're using marriage and success is very correlative. It's like
How about
you're
this?
using it in correlation.
Let me do
It's-
this.
Marriage and success have almost nothing to do. Bro, I understand.
it
when you
has.
work
Bro, what are you
backwards-
talking
wait,
about?
It does
wait.
now.
When you work backwards like that, when you think, okay, let me explain this marriage thing with success, of course it's gonna make sense looking backwards. But when you look at the fundamentals of a successful community, my guy, it's economic policy, it's stable economies, it's peaceful change of government. Those are the things that cause, bro, like ripe, fertile soil.
Let me say
These are
this.
things.
Let me say this.
Bro,
Hold on.
Come on, let's
Or
go.
money.
No,
Can
I ask you a question?
Just-
I'm
let's
gonna
be
prove
real
my
for
point
one
right now.
second here,
I'm
bro.
gonna prove my point right now. I'm gonna prove my point right
Those
now.
are causative,
Hold
not
on.
correlation.
I'm gonna prove my point in both cities. Kampala, what are your best neighborhoods?
Kololo,
Mhm.
Munyonyo.
How many single parents are there?
Single parents.
How many community?
how do you
Hold on, listen to this.
How are
Wait,
you
hold on.
defining single parents?
Wait
Like
a minute.
they're married?
How many people do you
No,
feel
single
are
parents.
married
No
in
single
those
parents.
communities that are successful?
Mhm.
It's a high percentage, right?
What are we?
What I'm saying, what are the best neighborhoods? How much? Kalolo, name them. What's
Kololo, Munyonyo,
Luboa?
Yeah.
How many people do you believe live in those places that are not married or not families? Exactly.
I wouldn't know.
He knows.
I wouldn't know, but there are few.
Okay, hold
there
on.
are few,
Very few single
Maybe.
people there. What are the best neighborhoods here in Kenya?
In terms of
Okay,
aesthetic-
Lavington, Karen.
aesthetic-
Lavington,
I'm trying to
Karen.
understand.
What
Mutaiga.
else?
Gra-
There's
Mutaiga.
Runda.
How many
Mutaiga.
single moms are there?
How would I
Very
know,
few.
bro?
Very few.
But how do you know?
What I'm
Like,
saying
how
is-
do I
True
drive
though.
through
What
an
I'm
estate
saying is,
and
okay,
know if
you guys
people
are
are
getting around
single
the
or
point.
not?
You guys are
what-
getting
no,
around
let's
the point.
keep it to them, let's
You
keep it
guys
to
are
them,
getting around the point.
It's true
There are
though.
no affluent places that you feel safe even going to. Any place that is a ghetto you would consume or presume has dominated by people that are not even married. Single moms, nobody wants to go around there because it's dangerous. What I'm telling you is let's leave marriage out of it because we already know the top countries that are running the world right now are married. We know Japanese
They're
are
married?
married. Yes, Japanese are married except for the most part, the United States and the UK. But usually those countries built their education system and they're all the economy based on that. I know that I'm from there for the most part. It's just now dwindling down. But the top education systems in the country in the world right now are married. Top everything is married. Norway, married. Everybody for the most part, okay? Now what I'm talking about is this. Leave marriage aside. If they're single, you show your black ass in Norway, you're at the bottom. For a fact. Leave marriage at the side in Japan. You're at the bottom when you show up. When they come here, you're at the bottom of your own country. They don't think like you. Even though what you're saying is true, it's cool, but they don't have an open mentality like you. The Chinese, when they come here, do they say, I want to be friends with Kenyans because Kenyans are cool people? Or do they have a Kenyan restaurant with Chinese writing and they say that you can't even come in there? How many stories do we see a China Mart?
I get what you're saying, but it's
hold on,
very tit for
wait.
tat.
Name one.
But there's a lot of Kenyan restaurants in the US and white people.
I get what he's saying, but it seems very tit for tat.
Let's look.
Again, it's community, bro.
Very tit for
But
tat, bro.
also, if Chinese are in Kenya, they're not. This is not where they come from. Of course, they're gonna have their restaurants and whatnot. What's the problem with that? It's
bro,
normal. It's
okay,
obvious.
by the way-
the Kenyans in the States would have their own restaurants.
No.
Even if we
China. Let's look at China.
but the
Because the
thing
United
is,
States is not so invested in Kenya. Let's look at China. Do you get parity from China? When you go to China, can you do the same things Chinese do here?
Bro, but you see now, what
get
does
what you're
marriage?
saying.
But
I get what
hear
you're
you.
saying.
But
Answer me.
what does marriage have to do with that?
I get what you're
Answer
saying.
what
Okay,
I'm
what
saying.
he's
Answer
trying
it
to
directly.
say- No,
do
what
you
he's
get the
trying
same
to
level of
say-
parity that you
Yeah.
give Chinese in Kenya? When you go to China, what is your level there?
I get what you're
What
saying.
their
Of
level is.
course.
I get what
Do
you're
you
saying.
accept that?
That's true.
Is it true? Why is it true?
Bro, I don't know why
It's
it's true.
true.
I get it, but it's not
Because you
marriage.
don't
I'm
think.
sure.
No. It
No.
is true.
Yeah.
Because your mentality is different from theirs.
Yeah.
Because nobody can be successful with the way you think. That's what I'm telling you.
Do you think
as a group?
Do you think when I walk into China, I feel inferior myself? I mean, they could discriminate me if they want. That's
Sure.
their choice. You know, I will never choose how you look at me. But do you think I walk around thinking I'm inferior?
What you're
No,
saying
I'm
seems
not
very
saying
tit
that.
for tat.
You're saying that. I'm not saying that.
That's you.
No, it's a question. I didn't say
No.
anything.
I'm not dealing with that. That's a different argument. You might not feel inferior. I'm not dealing
Okay,
with
can
that.
we explain
the
something?
question is, do they feel
Can
the
we
same
explain
way?
something?
that
I don't
you
think
feel?
they
Wait,
do.
wait.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
You don't think they do?
Wait, let me ask you guys something. Why do you think marriage has such a big... Why do you think it's a big cause of these communities or countries being more successful than us?
Well, I'm not
Or
talking about...
successful in general.
No. Let's leave marriage out of the whole situation because people are married here. Africans are also
Let me
married.
give you a good
Africans
example.
Africans are also
Melinda
married.
and
Let's
Bill
leave
Gates.
marriage
Do
aside
they- do
because
they
marriage
not
is not
have,
really
like,
a tangible talking
companies
point,
together?
right? That's
Melinda
something
and
that's
Bill
beside the
Gates.
point. Because
That's
Africans are
what
also
marriage
married.
is about.
The
Yes.
mentality is
But
what
they're
I'm
not
dealing
even
with.
married anymore.
I'm dealing with the
After they
mentality.
are rich, right?
The mentality
But
of
the
a
mentality
Chinese
that you're
person.
talking about still leading to
Then
something.
I also want to talk about divorce. All the divorce.
And the mentality you're talking about
Wait. Let
also
me talk about
leads-
this. If a person is single or married or not in China, you'll be relegated. Their idea is, I'm a single person here. And I've seen the way, if I see a person that's Indian and they're single, it's different from a Kenyan person that is single or married is single. A person that is African or Kenyan or Ugandan is more likely to be more open to different cultures than somebody being open to you. Let's leave marriage aside, because marriage is just another argument. We're going to go somewhere different. The reality is we're giving parity to people who don't give it to us. That's the point, and that you can't deny. There are people in Dubai who are not married, but when you show up as a black person, they're not going to look at you the same way on average. Some may, because if that was the case, we would see so many black millionaires coming from Kenya to Dubai, and we don't see that.
Okay, but where is this leading to? Like, what would you like the solution to be?
The solution needs to be, and I'm not saying that what he's saying is wrong for him, but I'm trying to tell you this. Other groups who are successful never accept you openly. Because if we would have thought like that, Africa would have been developed a long time ago. To the level we thought, but it has not happened yet.
I don't think that's true.
Africa it's the truth.
Those two don't
It's
follow.
the truth. It has to follow. How is it not following? Because we've always been open to them. We've had presidents. Botswana president has a white wife. Jomo Kenyatta had a white wife. The Kenyans did not leave here. Like Idi Amin put whites out, or Indians out. The ones who were here in the economy were whites. Jomo Kenyatta did not kick them out. And they did develop to a certain degree. But what I'm saying is this, the acceptance of other groups into Africa has not benefited Africans in the way that it should have themselves. Like Singapore, it developed Singapore. Singapore made whites develop all of their systems for their people. Africans let develop whites for themselves. And that's why I'm saying whenever you see a white person here in Africa, I think that the thing is it's inferiority complex. Not for everybody, but because we're so acceptance of them, how has it benefited us? It hasn't. What has interracial marriage and relationships done for Africa? Zero.
True.
I kind of agree with the first one, and then I don't agree with the second one.
Why don't you agree?
Every time you enter the relationship thing, I'm like, bro, okay, this logic's now
Just
not...
tell me why.
But I agree that I think that...
Come on.
I think we've always gotten the shorter end of the stick when it comes to dealing with foreign people generally. It's only the relationship thing that I'm like, bro, you can't... This is reaching now.
And it's
This
just,
is...
and it's for
Is it reaching? Why is it reaching?
Because it doesn't follow. That logic doesn't follow, man. I asked
How
you
does the
why.
logic not follow?
I asked you like,
How does it?
I
Look at
asked
the
you-
numbers. Look at the numbers. Look at how people think. Let's just say right now, we talked about Egypt. What did he say? Egyptians, they don't with us. So we're not talking about them. Well, who has the most powerful army in Africa? Let's talk about that. Who has the best defense in Africa? Who is it?
I don't know, bro.
It's Egypt. It's Egypt.
But dude, so one...
Who's the best? Well, I'm asking you. You said they don't with us, right?
Yeah.
Who has the best military in Africa? Who is the only African army in Africa to defeat the British in the war?
I mean,
Okay,
bro,
you're saying, okay,
they
if
couldn't
they
Egypt,
do,
bro,
it's because, you're saying
bro,
it's because...
they're not about Ethiopia, bro. What about Ethiopia,
Egypt
bro?
took
Okay,
Britain
if they
off
do-
the throne
if they do,
as a
it's-
world power.
No, if they do, it's because of what?
Yeah, exactly.
What are
It's
you saying
because of
it
their
is?
mentality.
Which
is what
is
I'm
marriage?
telling you.
Okay, but leave
No,
the
no, no.
marriage thing out of this.
Leave marriage, because everybody's married in Egypt.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, right?
Okay, but we can't
but
keep
the
going
way they
back.
feel
So what
about
are we
their
talking
people,
about? Yeah,
look at
because
Kevin
we're
Hart.
bringing circles,
Look at
bro.
Kevin
Bring
Hart,
back this
right?
marriage thing.
Yeah.
Do you feel the early Egyptians were African or black? Do you feel that Pharaoh was black, the
They
first
were
ones?
Africans.
Do you feel that African civilization started in Egypt? Do
Okay,
you feel
guys,
that?
we need to leave this marriage thing completely out of it.
Leave
Because
it out.
It doesn't help anything in
We
this
can-
argument,
we can
okay?
say it doesn't.
Let's leave the relationships. It's
All of
not,
that.
the logic isn't there.
Let's look at
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
The logic is there for you. It's okay.
That's a good hat. Let me. That's
But
a,
you see, but do you believe that Egyptians were because you look at Sudan, they have the same pyramids. So Egypt, do you feel like the early Egyptians were black or Arab?
maybe Arab, bro. I don't think they were black, bro.
Okay, so
I don't believe they were black.
okay, so you don't believe they were black.
I feel they were.
Why? Tell me why.
So now Egypt will not accept any sort of African identity at all. Although there's speculation because the pyramids are also seen in Sudan, which we know they were black because they're still there.
But also, bro, the thing is, we have these borders that we're talking about now, Sudan, Egypt. They never existed before, bro. So it's possible whatever technology existed that built the pyramids was similar across because it was just one big land. So now we have borders. These borders were not there.
Okay.
Now, we can't even explain how these pyramids were built, but whatever technology existed that could build pyramids,
I knew they were
spread
marrying.
across.
I knew they were marrying at that time.
I knew that
Hey.
we were one people, bro. It was just one big land,
Okay.
and we had
So we're one
kingdoms and
people.
whatever.
Is it the same
but
as now?
Of course not.
You
So
know,
much has
And
changed.
now there's
Every-
the borders and everything.
What
So
I'm
much
saying
has
is this.
changed, man.
What I'm saying is this.
Yeah.
You as a Kenyan, you know, if I go to Egypt, I better not try to talk to Egyptian women. Everybody knows that. We all know it.
So what
as
are the
blacks.
reasons?
What I'm saying, because we all know that Egyptian people and the Arabs there are not our people. We know that. But Egyptian men can come to Kenya and Uganda and have a field day.
What's up? So then.
Is it true? Is it true? Is it true?
Because
you
I'm-
know you can't go to Egypt and have a field
But
day.
also,
You know it.
we have to question this statistic.
You know
I
it.
have- yeah,
you
I
know
swear
it.
to God.
You
I
know
know,
you
bro.
can't
I
go.
know, bro.
You
From-
know you
I
can't go
just
to.
like down, bro.
We know this.
Listen,
Listen,
you
no,
know
no,
you
no,
can't
we're
go.
talking facts.
Bro,
Let's do a dating
bro,
show in
bro,
Egypt.
bro,
Speculative
There's a
argument.
reason why you want to come to Uganda and not Tunisia. Because you know you ain't going to get no love out there. You already know it.
That's not true, bro.
But you
I'm
know
gonna
That's
go-
a
I'm gonna go
cultural.
to
That's
Tunis,
more a
bro.
cultural.
You will
thing.
go to Libya.
That's more a cultural
and you
thing
think
than
you're going to date some
anything.
Libyan
Your
women
success.
in the Arab
I
world?
know.
That's more
You know-
how Tunisian
bro.
people.
You know-
if they do,
How
which we
many-
don't know that they do for a fact.
How many Africans
That's
are
more of a
enslaved in
cultural
Libya?
thing. Come on, bro.
How many
bro.
Africans are enslaved in Libya dying on the way to Europe?
Bro, this is
every year.
Bro,
Why is that?
This is a
If-
speculative
but
argument.
how many Arabs are dying in Kenya? None. There is no Arab dying here, but there are many Africans
Can't
dying in
say
Libya.
Now, how can one know that?
Many
So,
different.
when someone
I know,
says
but-
that,
but-
how can
but-
one know
but-
that?
It's on the
But also-
news.
Where?
It's on
There's
the
no
news.
Arab here.
Can we investigate why they are that? Why? Can we
Because of
investigate
the
why?
Investigate
racial
why they're dying.
differences. It's the racial differences.
No, guys, you guys are too general with everything, man.
Too
I don't
general.
know.
no,
What do you
Yeah.
mean? Give me an example of being too general.
You want to know why there's maybe a lot of Egyptians dying in Kenya, not the other way around? I'm like, I don't know Egyptians dying in. I don't know
I
Kenyans
said
dying
Libya.
in Egypt.
No. I said Libya.
No,
Because
because
Libya.
Chooks,
Okay,
you're
I don't know
oblivious.
Kenyans dying in Libya either, bro.
listened.
Where?
Do you know any Ugandans dying in
Okay,
dying in
let's
Libya?
talk about Africa. But do you know about Africans, black Africans
Do you
dying
not?
in Libya? Do you know about that? You do know
not.
about it, right? You've heard about it.
Who and why are they dying? What's killing them?
They're dying because they're in slavery. They're dying because they're trying to get over
So
to
why are
Europe.
they in slavery? Does our government know they're in slavery?
No. So what I'm saying is,
Does our government know they're in slavery?
Are you?
So you're
what
blaming
is
the
the
government.
government doing
This
about
guy,
it?
maybe
Okay.
he's you're not a Kenyan. I
Eh,
feel like you're not a Kenyan.
what-
You're a Kenyan by blood, but you're.
but what I'm telling you
So
is
what
this.
am I?
Another country.
What I'm telling you is, brother.
What am I?
What I'm telling you is this.
He's
Okay.
not
So
Kenyan.
wait. Let's concede to his point. Let's say he's right. I want to concede to your point that you are right.
No, I'm not trying to be right.
No.
I'm just checking your facts.
No, he's
If it's a fact,
innocent.
it's a
Let's
fact,
say
right?
he is.
Hold on, wait. Let's
Yeah.
concede your point.
Yeah.
The point is you're correct because he's right. If things are happening,
what? Right about
if
what?
things are happening to Africans in other places,
Yeah.
the government won't respond.
Yes.
Now let me ask you this: if something happens to Egyptians in Kenya, their government will respond, right?
I hope so. That's my wish.
But we would assume that they would be more likely to respond.
That's an assumption, bro. What you mean?
But do you
It's not an
believe that
assumption.
on average?
I don't believe it.
Do you believe that?
I don't believe it because this is something you just
So
made
do
up.
you believe?
This is
Do
something
you
just
believe?
made up.
Hold on, wait a minute.
This is something you just made up.
Wait. So do you believe
No.
that if an Egyptian comes here to Kenya,
Yeah.
and there are those who are owning Aldo stores all over here, so they're doing pretty good here in this country.
Mhm.
Do you believe that the governments here don't care about their people? But Egypt, with the #1 army in Africa, with the #1 health education system in Africa, one of the best education systems in Africa, do you believe that they're more likely to defend their people stuck in another African country. You don't believe that?
I don't know, bro. Because you see, that's what the reason is. I've never heard of any of those situations.
Because
so why should
I'm gonna
I
tell you
start
why.
guessing?
Because it doesn't happen.
I can't make up things.
I'm gonna tell you this: Arabs in Africa. There's a reason why you say they don't f with us. There's a reason why you said. I'm gonna clarify it.
So what's the reason?
Because they feel different than you.
That's a cultural thing.
Their people are their people.
You're talking about a cultural thing.
Listen to this. Listen to this.
Even the Egyptian government for their citizens.
I was in Dubai.
Cultural thing. That's just how they are, man.
Hold on,
Wait a minute.
And also the foreign policy.
You see it? Now let's tie it back. Let's tie it back to marriage. You're talking about cultural things 100%. How people are. You're talking about how people are. Like, I didn't agree with any of you guys, whatever, but I can't choose who I'm going to marry based off of retaliation of someone else's culture.
Imagine.
What is that about?
Chooks, you remember that time
I get what you guys
when
are
it
saying.
was on the news here in Kenya, like, these girls who are going to Saudi Arabia, those, to work as, housemaids, cleaners and stuff. Like they're being, tortured, sexual harassed and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're being killed some are even hidden in one corner and stuff. Did you see Kenyans doing much, like leaders even protesting or anything? Did you see them putting any effort? Did you see them? No. But if it was the other around, if those girls from Saudi are working here and they're being terrorized, trust me, at the end of the day, they're sending a message.
Okay, but guys, can I also say something?
That's what Oshi is trying to make a difference. Yes.
That's not true.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
In short, when you're going to choose someone, you want to
tell you with facts about Saudi Arabia because it's not factual.
What Oshi is saying, and I'm sorry, I'm going to distinguish you guys based on age. Oshi is more,
I'm 90.
Yeah, exactly. And you guys are just starting life. I'm just assuming. Sorry. I'm not saying it in a bad way.
You got a white girl in the house right now.
All I'm trying to say is that what Oshi is trying to say, at this era and age, as much as we want to choose people because we love them and genuinely we care for them, we're going to choose them based on economical background.
I hear you. Let me tell guys, I hear you.
Let him build.
And I agree with some of the things you're saying. I just don't agree with how you assume everything is so general. For instance, you're asking about Saudi Arabia and Kenya. I'm like, one, you're not saying the complete story. The news broke online, guys were outraged. Alfred Mutua addressed it, true or false? Then it was even investigated. Who owns the agencies that take these people to Saudi Arabia?
Where did it reach? It reached a dead end. It reached a dead end because people corrupted the court.
Which people? Let me explain. So that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I don't like when...
the court.
And it's the same thing. It's the same thing as the question you was asking. So you ask a question, but you make it support your narrative. You don't say the full picture.
Yeah.
So when you talk about Saudi Arabia, at least give context and explain the full thing. If you don't know the full story, don't talk about it. Because now, I prefer, because these are all sensitive things and issues, right?
Yes.
If we are going to talk about them, then if you give an example, give the full picture. Like what I'm telling you now. Those agencies, it's true. There were Kenyans that Saudi Arabia were going through the worst of times. It came up online, it was addressed. The lady who was actually in the video, she was gotten back into the country, given a job, taken back to school, and she's in Meru now as we speak. Now, the minister, there was a parliamentary sitting that addressed it. One of the cabinet secretaries now in charge of trade, his name is Honorable Moses Kuria, or you can call him. He's an owner in the agency that was accused. Now, why the government has not done anything beyond that, we can talk as that as a different reason. There's powerful people in government who are benefiting and making money off this. So for you to come and say, so you're not telling the full picture. So now we can go into the reason as to why wasn't this fully addressed? Then we look at the reasons. But then for you to say nothing was done, that's a lie because that lady is in Meru now, she's in school.
Speaking of one lady, there are millions of girls there. I'm asking you, what have you seen any changes moving forward?
I also think we are not to blame for this instance that you brought of people, of the government not caring for people and bringing them back. Bro, for me, I blame that on weak, because if you're comparing Saudi Arabia, a citizen here in trouble, and then they bring them back, and then a citizen in Kenya, and then we don't bring that Kenya back. Bro, that's more a thing. It's not cultural. That one's a thing of, these are weak government systems. What are the ministries of internal affairs doing in office, bro?
Then we get into the actual
This
reasons.
is more of,
it's not general
reason. Functional solution than saying, we need to care more. Bro, who are you talking to when you say we need to care about You need to talk to the Ministry of Internal Affairs, you guys, and Foreign Affairs.
Who do you think we should be looking at in this situation?
So my question
who are we looking at?
For
the
instance,
government?
So my question
is weak government systems.
Yeah. So and back
Who
to,
are you like? What's the solution to you guys think?
What
where
are you
guys'
doing as an
solution?
individual
Okay.
based on that? If
Auntie,
you
your
hear
solution
that,
to what you guys are saying is something like we need to look out for each other. That's so broad, man. What are you talking about?
And also-
The solution to what we are saying
you don't
is-
believe in
the
looking
solution-
out for each other?
Wait. The solution to what we are saying is, man, we need to blame the right guys here.
Accountability,
bro.
man. And
These guys need to take care of their
It's like
citizens.
question.
What are they doing in office?
I have a question for you, just to actually support this. So, question to you. You asked, what are we doing, right? So, someone is in Saudi Arabia, a clip surfaces online, right? I come talk about it on my podcast. That's the platform I have. I talk about it online. Do I have the capacity to go Saudi Arabia and bring her? If the government does anything,
what does that
what do
lead
you want
to?
me to do, bro?
What does that lead
I've
to?
held my lead accountable. I've made it public. I've used the platforms I have to speak about it. What do I do? Go to Saudi Arabia and bring her Kenya?
Those guys have strong
we're talking
government
about
systems.
as a country in whole, like what are we doing? And as an individual, what lessons have you learned moving
Okay, when
forward?
Kenyans-
Okay, so
that
what are you talking to?
When Kenyans were
is the
stranded
thing.
abroad
The
during
community
COVID,
in
other
large.
governments were ferrying their citizens back to their countries.
Hold
Kenya
on.
didn't do it.
Wait,
so
wait.
what was that supposed to do?
Wait a minute, let me
Get
do
a
this.
private plane, go to Dubai and bring Kenyans.
Hold on.
Come on, man.
What I'm saying is this.
Jeez.
Both of you are right.
Yeah.
But on average, I believe Africans and blacks, we are more open to other groups.
But they're not open to us.
There you go.
That's what
And that's
he's
why
trying to say
that's
at the
thing
end
is,
of
at
the
the end of the day. I'm not saying that what you're not saying is not right. All the facts you're putting out, I want y'all to concede that.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is blacks. I don't even give a if you were doing something in Tunisia that you didn't do. For me, if you're robbing, I'm gonna come out and say, you're lying. He wasn't robbing. Bring him home.
That's crazy, bro.
No. But that's what the other groups do to us.
That's crazy.
Because there's a Chinese cop that
so should we
hold
stop
on,
being
listen to this.
nice people?
Wait. No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, right?
What we're saying is
What I'm saying is,
truth.
if a Chinese
Yes.
person is here, look at the Russia.
Mhm.
Russia had a top illegal person selling guns in America.
Yeah.
Look where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Russian said, we're going to take Brittany Griner. Do you want her back? Give us our people. That's the only way you get this motherfucker back, ever.
Yeah.
Or she's going to stay here and we're going to kill her. But the way that blacks think, well, man, no, he's a criminal. Oh, let him stay there. No. What I'm telling you is this, the average. That's what I'm saying. But do you see why Russia was decimated, bro? Do you see why Russia is standing up to the West, doing whatever they want? Because they're about their people first.
Yeah. That's crazy though, because if a Kenyan in Egypt was maybe apprehended because he's a rapist, I don't want him back in Kenya.
No. I understand that.
Or someone is a robber, has been arrested in Egypt. Keep him there, bro.
But what I'm saying
I don't
is,
want him to come
but
rob
how
me.
do you know that's not the
Just
truth?
because
What I'm
he's
saying is
Kenyan?
this: anybody can say that about you in Qatar. You're black.
I'm
Black
not
don't
saying
matter.
genuinely, but you're talking about genuine
Well, if it's true-
instances.
if
If
it's
someone
true,
is a
obviously,
rapist
yeah.
in Dubai, keep him there, bro. If you can keep him there.
Yeah, sure. I get it, right? But what I'm saying is this.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is this.
Yeah.
Any of those people there, they'll deal with you when you get there. That's how they feel.
Yeah.
So if you're like that, give us our people back, let us kill them.
I feel like also that's not something we can burden ourselves with. Like for instance, right? I'm mostly in control of myself. I decide the kind of person I want to be, right? So if when Roy called me, for instance, and said so-and-so is in the country, I'm like, I trust Roy, he's my homie, right? If Roy says pull up X, Y, Z, I pull up because I trust Roy. And if Roy says, I have a friend coming, I'm not in the country, take care of them, I promise you, I'll make sure you're well taken care of.
Yeah.
So now, that is what I can do because I have control over that. I do not have control over you, bro. If I come to Uganda and I die in the cells and maybe you're in position to help and you didn't, I'm not going to think like, oh, shit, I helped this guy. I'm a human being. I feel disappointed. But I'm like, that is your problem. It's not my problem.
How many people do you think have the same aspect as you in
And
the
that's what
world?
we want
In
to
the whole
educate.
world? How many
That's why
people
we're having this
say the
podcast
truth?
today. Because
They're
we
very
want people to
few.
become like you.
They're
And I
very
appreciate
few.
you. Personally, I want to thank you while we're live. I'm going to be honest, like, I'm straightforward.
Yeah.
But you're a good brother, right? And I appreciate you for having that mentality. And in our community, we need more brothers like you. We'll be further ahead. And the whole idea is, see, that's how big it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the situation. If we have that mentality like you did, we would be further along. We would be like Dubai if we thought like you. That's the point I'm trying to make. You're basically proving my point that we are not like you or Raymond. But just think about if we all work together in that formality. That's how the Arabs and how the Jews think, the way you think. We want to bring value to each other, right? Now, as blacks, if we thought more like that, we would be at the world stage if we had those rules of engagement. And that's the reality why I say a lot of times when we want to get into these different groups, whatever, listen, other groups don't feel like that. Like the Emiratis, the reason why they have Dubai and have you been to Dubai before? Anybody been there?
Yeah, I've been there a bunch of times. So question
been
is,
there?
why do they feel like that?
The reason why they feel like that because it works. We know it works because you saw it. I'm gonna tell you why it works. Dubai, you can never get citizenship there without being an Emirati. If you're Philippines, if you're from India, if you're from any of those places, you work like a mother. Even if you're Arabic, it doesn't matter. But in your country, you're under them. They own everything. And there are only 300,000 people in a country full of 11 million.
Yeah. So my question would be, for a country like Kenya where foreigners can get citizenship, but there's criteria for that, right?
Oh.
So then, do you think there's a reason why a country like Kenya would say, you know what, if you stay here for 7 years, good conduct, you have a job, you have whatever going on for you, you can apply and we'll consider and we can give you citizenship. Do you think they had a reason for that? Because Dubai doesn't. You will never ever get
Dubai
citizenship.
doesn't. I don't
They'll
think.
give you a work permit, but you'll never get citizenship. That's how they do their thing.
Yes.
So then,
Why do you think that's the case?
I don't know. I wish I had the answer for that.
Because they want their people over you.
Thank you.
That's
the
why.
thing.
And the thing
You're
is,
not getting the point.
and even
That's
if
the
Kenya
whole
were to
point
tell
we're
me-
trying to
Wait,
present.
so
As
us
a-
giving guys
Yes.
citizenship is because we
let me ask you this.
You
Even if
will be
Kenya were to tell
owners.
me,
You will start
as
being
a black
entitled.
person, you
Yes.
will never get citizenship over our group.
Okay,
I would expect.
question is,
I would
which
respect
other
it.
country doesn't give people citizenship?
A lot. I don't think China does.
I don't think.
I don't think Japan does. You can have a whole kid in Japan. And your kid won't get citizenship.
But Chinese don't need any more people, bro. They're in their billions.
No.
what else do they need
China's
to
in
give?
their billion, not Japan. It's Japan that's China's. But what I'm saying is the mentality. Look at what Japan has developed after World War II. We watch it every day. Sony, Canon, Honda, which is Lexus, Toyota,
Yeah.
Toshiba. Their way works. Go to South Korea. Samsung, LG. You don't get that by mixing with other groups, do you?
That's crazy, bro.
You can't get
It's
it.
crazy to say that.
And these people,
That is
Bro, I
crazy.
didn't
listen.
Yeah, same here, man.
But
That is
but
crazy
look
to
at
say.
South Korea.
wait.
South Korea was in poverty 70 years ago. Nothing. Singapore was dumped by Malaysia. Look
Wait,
at
there's a
Singapore.
problem with the Dubai
Singapore has
argument.
no natural resources.
Wait, there's a problem with the Dubai argument.
there is
Dubai
a big
is the
problem,
most
bro.
mixed.
Who owns everything?
Wait,
Who owns everything?
Wait. Besides that, wait.
Who owns everything?
Wait.
They are-
Dubai is thriving.
Dubai doesn't
Dubai
own
is
everything.
thriving. Wait.
But they own most of it.
No, I
Look
mean,
at
I
their
know.
port. Their port is one of the best ports in Africa.
I know you can't own a business. I know
Middle
you
East.
can't own a business
No, you
without
can
an
own.
Emirati. Without one of their people co-signing it.
But also,
they have to be an owner.
But also
So-
in Kenya, for you to have to open a foreign business here, shareholding a percentage of it has to be from local people. It's a lot here.
And Dubai, also the Dubai point doesn't really work because Dubai, bro, everyone lives in Dubai. Every race, bro, lives in
But
Dubai.
also, you can.
Who owns
And they're all
everything?
doing
But also,
business, making money,
because
making the place
Raymond,
better.
what do you want? They say I can't give you citizenship, but you can work here for as long as you want. So what's the difference, bro?
The difference is you have number one, if you have a passport, can we be honest? There's no defense. The East African passport is different than the Emirati passport.
Of course, but why, bro? Why are passports different?
What I'm telling you is because of the way that they think and the way that they think for their people is different from the way that we think for our people.
So
there's a reason why we're all humans. Do you believe that you have any less ability than anybody else?
less abilities?
Yes.
Of course.
You don't feel like you're less than anybody else, right?
No, I don't feel like I'm less, but
Do you feel like you're less?
in terms of abilities, bro, Messi plays better football than me. He's
No. Of course, on average, right? If you,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is, there's probably some black person that could be equal. There's Pele, who's black African descent. He's as good as Pele, as Messi, historically, right? We all agree. Even the Biafra War stopped when Pele came to Nigeria in the 60s.
Yeah.
So we all agree that Pele is the greatest soccer player of all time. Who's black? Like you.
Depends.
Depends.
Mine would
Okay,
be,
but let's
mine
give
would
it
be
to you.
Ronaldinho because I saw him play.
But
I've seen a
Pele
few clips of Pele.
is the Michael Jordan of soccer, on average,
Okay, let's move on.
right? So what I'm saying is, whatever Messi can do is what somebody that black can do. I've already done it.
Yeah.
So reality is, you told me, when you go to China, you don't feel like you're less than somebody else. Because you feel like you have the same ability. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. So that's the point there. You have the same ability. You should be able to swing the bat like everybody else. That's your point.
Now, what I need you to do is say that exact point, but to the governments, because a lot of these issues are different because of policies. Foreign policies depends on what the government allows the Chinese to do here that the Chinese government can't allow Kenyans to do it. I have no control over that, bro. I literally exist. The most I can do is
bro.
I can vote.
This is more life-changing than who you marry,
I can
bro.
vote.
I'm
I can
gonna
vote, but I don't sit in parliament. I hope the guy who sits in parliament can represent me better, but do they represent me better? They don't. They make those policies.
What is the first company?
Bro, like literally, when Ruto became president, the first thing he did, normally we need to get a visa to go to South Africa. Now it's abolished. It was literally said, bro. This dude literally just said it. The president of South Africa came to Kenya and literally said it. You can come visa-free. He said it.
Loud.
That's because the policies allow that president
Can I add an
to
objection?
verbally literally say, just come.
Who started the Africa Free Trade Agreement?
I don't know, bro. I don't know much
Africa
about
Free
this
Trade
shit like
Agreement. Let me explain it to you. The Africa Free Trade Agreement would be equal to with the European Union Free Trade Agreement, trading across borders with very little taxes.
Okay.
Same thing as a North American with Canada, United States, and Mexico.
Yeah.
So that's what Africa's trying to do. If Africa does the free trade agreement, it's a $3.4 trillion free trade agreement, which is the biggest in Africa. Let me tell you, who's the biggest country in Africa as far as population? We all know it as
Nigeria. Yeah.
When Buhari was the president, Buhari was supposed to sign or ratify the African Free Trade Agreement. There were certain countries that didn't want to sign. One was Eritrea. The second was?
I don't know, bro.
Nigeria.
I'm hearing this for the first time.
Nigeria. Nigeria.
Yeah.
So Buhari was afraid to sign. Why was Buhari afraid to sign? Because the goods coming out of Ghana, Togo, Burkina Faso, and Ghana in particular, because Ghana has better electricity and more goods that they can be competitive. Nigeria said, if we sign this a free trade agreement as a business collective, Ghanaian goods are going to come and compete with Nigerian goods because they have what we feel is better infrastructure. So the business community told Buhari, you cannot sign that. And what did Buhari said? We can't sign it. Nigerian businesses believe this is not good for Nigeria. What am I telling you? Why you're saying that the government is this? The government doesn't create jobs. Let me tell you this. Ford, the Model T was the first car. The United States needed funding for roads. The Model T sold so many cars, it funded roads. Apple is $1 trillion country. When Apple comes to the government, what does the government say? Whatever the Apple wants, whatever Microsoft wants, whatever Google wants, whatever Facebook wants, whatever Tesla wants, because the private sector pays taxes to what? How do governments get funded? By the private sector. The government cannot even function without the private sector. So what I'm telling you is this, the government doesn't, when M-Pesa came, did M-Pesa say, you know what, Safaricom, we're gonna wait for the government. Do you wait for the government for this podcast? You don't. No, you don't. What I'm saying is this, Norway has a fund called the Sovereign Wealth Fund. It's the biggest fund in the world. It's over $1 trillion. They force companies and governments to do whatever the they want or they pull out. So what I'm telling you is the African private sector can influence governments, whatever they want them to do.
Yeah, but then I think the only thing we are not mentioning is that as Africa, we are still colonial states. States. And that's the same thing happening even in Nigeria now. So we want to assume that we have freedom. They make us believe we are democratic, but we are not. We're still controlled by the colonial man. It's true, it's a fact. And that's what's happening in Niger now, when they're kicking out France and saying, as we're assuming that all the factors are dependent on our leaders, but also our leaders, they don't control everything. We are still colonial states. We are not independent, bro. They just make us believe we are.
What I'm telling you is because the reason why the colonial states are colonial states is how they see you. You cannot become a colonial state. Because remember, Singapore was a colonial state, and so was UAE was a colonial state, and Qatar was a colonial state. They also were colonial states. India was a colonial state, but they see you different than they see themselves.
We owe them so much money, bro.
But you're not getting at the point that all of those people were also under colonialism and see themselves different than you.
It goes back to the point you're saying about Apple, Facebook, and these other guys. It's whoever has the money calls the shots. That's just how it works, bro.
But what I'm telling you is this, right? Actually, say it's Chucks. Like in this podcast, you said you wanted to work with me, right? I moved to Kenya. I'm going to spend my money with you. Anybody else, right? On accident, right? And somebody else that's a different race, I'm not gonna spend money with them. I'm gonna spend it with you.
And that's fine, bro.
No. But what I'm telling you is look at the mindset.
Yeah.
The mindset is you're gonna benefit as a black person. I'm gonna invest into my group. I don't care about the other groups. I'm gonna invest in my group. What is our community gonna develop if we think like that? We're gonna catch up.
Yeah.
Eventually over time. I'm not gonna say, you know what, whoever comes and finds me, no, I'm gonna put my own people on. And then if you up, let's say if me and you had a company, we'll talk to them outside. We'll get together. Yeah. What's wrong with you? But the others, we will keep them out. Why? Because they keep us out. That's what I'm trying to point out. So then I'd rather have your kids be rich with what we have than they become rich. That's the point I'm trying to make.
And that's fine because and you explained
you want to be
why.
rich.
And you explained why, and I respect that.
If you have kids in the future and they choose their spouses, if they choose like white people, would you have like a problem?
Dr. Umar would slap him.
I would always respect my kids' choices.
Oh.
But it always comes with a consequence.
Like what?
So anybody knows me, know how I feel. You can do whatever you want. But at the same time, I can also do whatever I want. So as long as you know that.
But what about this concept that I had, like Black Americans are like married?
General threat I've ever seen in my life.
No, by the way, it's a thing that's trending. Like Black American men, they like their lady Latino women. Like you go for
that's
Latino.
Some guys are like that. But no, but like I said, this is this, right? Some brothers are on that kind of tip. And our celebrities are there. But like I said, a lot of our women are beautiful, and it just as dark as, let's say, you or whoever else.
Yeah.
Well, how are we going to catch up out here dealing with other folks? Because whenever we're with other folks, they change, we don't change. We change to be with them. They never change to be with us. A white person, when they come to Kenya, is still always going to be white. They're always going to have preference. I've seen a white person that's born in Kenya heading the zoo. Where is a Kenyan heading a zoo in Britain? Don't exist. Can't have no zoo in London, Britain.
Bro, but the white people
Where?
were here. So if they were born here and born Kenyan, how do I blame that on a Kenyan not being on the other side when they're the ones who infiltrated our land? They're the ones who colonized us.
Even if you become
the
prime minister of Britain as an Indian, look at Barack Obama. I'm gonna tell you an example. That's how white folks are so cold. You can become the president of the United States and Barack Obama is half Kenyan.
Yep.
And you can't change.
We call him
you can't change for your group. Nothing will happen for your people.
That's why, you're saying the same thing. Sometimes we put a lot of pressure on our leaders, but they're not really in control, man. These guys are just
leaders.
Most of them are just
pressure
puppets,
on
bro.
everyone who's up
Most
there.
of them are puppets. That's why Africa remains the way it is, but the issues are bigger than that. Like, the most we can do is support ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, Richard Raymond say, bro, you're in my city, whatever you need, let me know. You know what I mean? That's the most I can do.
No. That's the start. We can do more than that, bro. We can do more than that. Look what we're doing right now. We have the power, man. Everything starts like this.
So we can support ourselves, but it's not going to change the government. It's not going to change policies for us tomorrow.
Listen, if you get 1 million subscribers on YouTube, you will change everything in this country. I can guarantee you that.
It's going to happen, bro.
I feel like everything.
He's based on his own experiences growing up, and you guys are based on your own experiences growing up and your own preferences. Like, I feel like you guys, you can agree to disagree, and that's just about it.
And that's fine.
And that's based on starting to choose, like, the topic was about choosing. Would you base choosing, like, a Pan-African?
Okay,
would you date a foreigner?
Just like, for my position in specific is, I agree with you guys. I get what you're saying. I guess it's just a relationship thing. I was like, I don't know if I agree with this.
Yeah.
But I think that what you guys are saying is true. Like, we need to be more accountable to each other, spread more love to each other, care for each other more, hold these governments, these are the people that make these policies. These are the people that, if these people really care, they would bring all these people back, man. People that are suffering. We need to hold those people more accountable, higher standards for ourselves with them.
So, Oshe, do you think, like, dating these days is maybe affected by the government? Or the approach of colonialism, like before?
If black people stick together, black people can change everything. The reason why Uganda and Kenya got its independence, because there wasn't no interracial dating going back then at that time, because it was Negroes sticking together doing what they needed to do. From the Mau Mau to Buganda Kingdom, everything. Black people, we are the strongest with each other. And once we realize that, we're going to be able to catch up to these other groups. Ain't no different from us and the Chinese. I was in Kilimani, Chinese hotels like that everywhere. It's sad. Kenyans got just as much ability as Chinese people, if not more, in this country. These Chinese can't even speak English that's here.
They're booming money.
Can't speak
money
but the Kenyans are just...
Money talks, bro.
Listen, but what I'm saying, Kenyans got money, Kenyans got talents. Why not our Kenyan brothers? Listen, they doing good everywhere else. Here, too. Yeah. They need to be able to control their own shit.
But you see,
because you can't control shit in China. But how come they can come over here and control over you?
That's fine, but also
you have stories of Kenyans Chinese beating Kenyans, bro. You cannot ever find a Kenyan beating in China. Where's one story of a Kenyan beating Chinese in China? Never. But you will find several Chinese people in Kenya telling you can't come into the restaurant, whooping Kenyans' asses right here in Kenya.
No, all of them get deported, bro.
But what I'm telling you,
a
Kenyan knows better. A Kenyan knows better to go to Chinese and do something like that.
And try doing something like that.
But a Chinese feels entitled.
Policies, bro. If a Chinese person could mistreat a Kenyan person, and the most they can get is if it gets publicized, they get deported. But maybe in China it says if that happens, then you go to prison. It's just different policies, bro. Foreign policies. I have no control over what the government does to what a foreigner does in my country.
I think the problem in Kenya,
and also when you see
so what am I supposed to do, bro? Line up all the Chinese in Kilimani and whoop their asses for one incident.
I mean, Raymond will help you. So guys, listen, we're gonna cut it all. I mean, it's a great episode. You guys, how do you guys feel about the episode? Was it good?
Yeah. All right, guys, I've enjoyed this.
Yeah, same.
Was it good? Was it good?
I love it.
Great.
Yeah. And I've learned stuff. That's the essence of it. Yeah.
But I think
we beat you guys, but it's okay.
No, but
no.
Well, wait till the comments come, bro. It kind of roast you.
Which is fine. That's why it's a conversation. That's fine.
It's all about the blacks. All black first. Don't be a sellout like Raymond Kahuma.
I follow this guy's entire logic until he brings it to relationships. I'm like, bruh, you work
everything.
Until that.
And then Raymond is like, pussy, bro.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Your entire logic of us being together.
Bro. Gotta be the black ones. What? So guys, we had a great episode. It was a great debate. Raymond lost. But like I said, you know, it was good. Subscribe to everybody. Raymond Kahuma, Mic Check Podcast. What's your podcast called?
Incredibly raw.
Incredibly Raw.
It's actually new.
And it was a good debate. Like I said, Kenya got the heat. We're going to be over here more. Shout out to my brother, Cheque, right?
What up? Yes, sir.
You know, he's put me onto the studio here, and he's been a great brother. So, again, we are living what we're talking about, even though we disagree sometimes. So, subscribe. Peace.
Yeah. Peace.